International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
If you're drunk,
blasted,
intoxicated,
rip, plastered,
destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
For 5 years running, it's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Well, good Olympics last night or yesterday all day. Simone Biles, Team USA Olympics, gold medal. Jimmer Fredette, not so much. Rugby sevens was fun. What's up? It is Wednesday. It is the final day, is that right, of the month of July. Your mortgage is due. Your rent is due. The final day of July. We turn to August, and 2/3 of the year will be gone. What's up, boys and girls? Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. How you living?
Oh, what it do?
You all right back there?
All right.
Lots yesterday. So you stare at the Olympics all day like I did too?
Yes, I did.
I had it on. I got in. Monica had her TV on. She's watching the Olympics. She's all USA'd out. Got a little Simone Biles, which was really, really fun to watch, and solidifies herself, not that she needed to, as a Olympic legend. You get a little swimming. You get. I still haven't watched any handball, dude. I can't find handball.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just pops up.
Yeah, I haven't got any handball, but yeah, it was good stuff yesterday. I still can't handle the nasty, stinky E. coli river and that whole thing. I lose my mind on it. But Japan's leading in golds as we go through the gold medal, the medal count. Total medals, France has 20 of them. The United States has 27. But in gold medals, China 8, Japan 7, France, Great Britain, and Australia have 6. And then overall, the United States has 27. 4 golds, 12 silvers, and 11 bronze. All right, lots to do on what is bound to be a busy Wednesday today. The baseball trade deadline was yesterday. You had some insane. Did you catch Dodgers-Padres last night?
Interesting deadline for both teams as well.
Well, it was. And then the MLB Network featured them as the game. And the Dodgers scored 5 runs in the first last night in San Diego. And you're like, all right, there you go. And you know, there's Dodger fans everywhere. It's up and down the West Coast. It's just packed. It's solid. But Dodger fan is all over San Diego. Many just moved down because realized, wow, San Diego's way better place to live. Let me go down here, but I'm still a Dodger fan. So, I mean, that's just how that is. And the Dodgers go up 5-0 in the first inning. And it's 5-3 in the ninth. The Padres hit 2 solo home runs. Manny Machado hit the first one, and then they get a walk-off, and that place went bonkers. Big win for the Padres. And don't look now, but that's a little bit of a race. They both made a lot of noise at the trade deadline. Well, that's only a 5.5 game cushion for LA.
Yeah, the Padres really started getting consistent over the last couple of weeks. They went heavy on bullpen arms at the trade deadline.
Everybody seems like they did, huh?
Tried to. It was very expensive at the trade deadline to get good to average bullpen arms at this point in time. A lot of prospects go in new places. That's what the Padres do under AJ Preller. GM, they acquire Jason Adam, Tanner Scott, just to add into that late inning leverage situation. The Dodgers replenish their just depth for their team.
What do you make with the
this year.
Jack Flaherty trade for LA?
That's the kind of pitcher you need. Guy can eat
Right.
up innings. Will be your fourth starter.
Do you need 4 starters in the playoffs?
You're in 4, and then especially if Kershaw is still out there.
I think that's the key, right? We'll just do the injuries to them. I mean, Flaherty could end up being 3
Yeah,
by the
Flaherty
time you
could
get
be
there.
your
You just
third.
don't know.
You don't know, but he's a guy that you expect to at least eat him some innings, because I think the best case scenario is you get 4 to 5 really good innings out of Clayton Kershaw.
I think that's right. I think that's probably right. Best case scenario at this point. Yeah, in the playoffs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even probably
I'll tell you
keep it
this.
less during the season.
I think he's a good guy out of the bullpen.
That's the bulk reliever,
Yeah.
opener,
Yeah.
piggyback, whatever it may be. I think that's why Flaherty for them is good. Just a guy that can eat up some of those second half innings, and then just pieces to plug and play all over the place.
Kevin Kiermaier is really interesting.
Kiermaier is going to be their best defensive outfielder.
I think that might be right too. Yeah, I think that might be right. Yeah.
That's where he's hung his hat on his entire career. And
Yeah.
so, like any of these guys, they can get hot. But then bringing in Kopech too. This is an impact arm in the bullpen.
Yeah, it was amazing how many bullpen arms got moved. Padres did it. The Orioles did it. I mean, everybody got bullpen arms at the trade deadline. The other thing that's just going crazy is have you been watching at all what Jazz Chisholm's done since he's gone over to the Yankees? They get him, 3, 4, 5 days ago. They beat the Phillies yesterday in Philadelphia by a score of 7-6. And Jazz Chisholm has been going nuts. Yesterday, he went 3 for 6. He had 5 RBI, hit a couple of home runs. And all of a sudden, he went over there and just energized everything they're doing over there. And I haven't watched a ton of Yankee games over the summer, but I've caught, they've just been on my national TV wherever I've turned the last couple of days. And maybe it's because they're playing the Phillies. And I mean, it's a big East Coast thing, and it could be a World Series preview. But I mean, damn, so far that feels like it's been the best move of the trade deadline season, or at least the most impactful so far, was Jazz Chisholm going over to the Yankees. I don't know how much of that you've watched, but just the energy and the production has been something else.
Yeah, Chisholm's been a guy that has been more hyped than anything else recently, and just landing in New York has sparked something with his bat.
Yeah, it's been good. All right, lots to do today. Let's go at 505-246-0610. That's area code 505-246-0610. That's your Sports Animal phone line and our text line. Your emails will come in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com on the Twitter or the X. How long do you think it'll be still called Twitter? Like forever?
It'll be one of those things that takes a while to phase out.
Just still phasing out?
We're using it as Twitter, and we're tweeting on
But then
Twitter.
you tweeted. What do you do? X now? Like tweeting became
I
a
still see
verb.
people saying tweet.
So do you tweet on X?
That's yes.
Because that was a verb. That's what you did. When you thumbed out a Twitter message, you tweeted, correct?
Tweet on X. I think that's the way most people say it.
Okay. I mean, I'm fine with it. Verbiage, I just wonder where it's going. Guest list today. Heather Dyke's going to be with us coming up at 8:30, the UNM women's soccer coach. They get started with a friendly on Friday. They play the U.S. women's deaf national team. Is that the correct way to say it?
Yeah.
They will do that on Friday out at the soccer complex, and they get started coming up here in 12 days. Their season will start with Abilene Christian on the 11th. Then they will play at New Mexico State a week later and UC Riverside before getting Oregon at home on August 25th, the day after the football opener. So a big stretch for them. I look at their schedule. I'm like, dang, look at their non-conference. Oregon, New Mexico State, San Diego, UC Santa Barbara. They got some teams on there to get her and that team ready. But first up will be the U.S. national deaf national team, and that'll be on Friday. And looking forward to hearing what she has to say about that. So that'll be at 8:30 this morning. We got a lot of NFL to get through, more money being handed out, not by the Dallas Cowboys. They continue to do what they continue to do. I got a big one for New Mexico United tonight. They're at home. They're all big. They play Las Vegas at the ball pitch tonight. When we get back, you decide if it is the toughest schedule ever, but it's impressive. And I don't care if it's the toughest schedule ever for UNM men's basketball. It is certainly the most impressive non-conference schedule we've seen in some time. I'm not going to get into debating whether it's better than a Gary Colson team or whatever. I don't care. I just know that Richard Pitino heard what was being said. He understood it, and he addressed it. And boy, is it ambitious. We're going to go through Lobo men's basketball schedule because it's impressive, it's ambitious, it's difficult, but it's navigatable. What's the word? Navigationable. What's the word I'm looking for? Navigatable?
They can navigate it.
Thank you. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. And AM 610, the sports animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on? Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres.
They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain.
Who's that?
That's your new buddy in jail.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them, gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
You're looking to plan an event, throw a party, have a meeting, a convention, a reception, a fantasy football draft, a holiday party, whatever it is, I'm going to strongly suggest that you consider the Albuquerque Convention Center with great meeting space and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of feet, 600,000 square feet of footage, flexible indoor and outdoor space right in the heart of downtown Albuquerque. The Albuquerque Convention Center will accommodate anything you've got going, from intimate meetings and gatherings to grand expos and conferences. Great staff, incredible food and beverage options that go above and beyond. Your dream event will become a reality and people will love it. And that's why we every year at the Isleta New Mexico Bowl host one of our team events there. They have taken care of our guys, our staff, our guests incredibly well. And I've been to many events. Back last month, hosted the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame banquet there. And they had, 700 people. And everybody got fed quickly, enjoyed it, had a great time, easy in and out, great parking. So be at the center of it all. Be at the center of it all. It's the Albuquerque Convention Center. The number's 505-768-4575. Give them a call and plan your meeting, 505-768-4575, or just visit them online at albuquerquecc.com. It's all right there for you. All right, Lobo basketball, the schedule came out, JJ, and not a lot of surprises. You're waiting to see maybe, what were they filling it in with? And I think you got some of the answers. Nichols is the opener. They'll play an exhibition. What do you think about the exhibition with UTEP? It's going to be at home. It's open. Typically, those are closed exhibitions. And I know a lot of people would love to see UTEP on the schedule. I guess I was a little surprised to see that as an exhibition, although I'm fine with it. It doesn't, I'm good. But that one surprised me a bit.
It's taking advantage of the rules. You can have a charity game and use it as an exhibition game.
Yeah.
It's a very good idea. Because as you mentioned, they do the closed door scrimmages a lot. Well, this is going to be more like a game-like atmosphere, exhibition game straight up against UTEP, taking advantage of being able to do a charity game as an exhibition contest. And I like that start to the season.
All right. So that'll be on a Monday night against UTEP. And then another home game on Monday, the 4th of November. This will be the real opener. Nichols will be in town. And then later that week on Friday, they will go and play UCLA. And where's basketball that Friday? Or I'm sorry, that's the 4th. So they're the 8th. And basketball at San Diego State that same night. So JJ, I might be in Vegas that night because they play at San Diego State on a Friday night. On the 8th of November. So the same night that, what are you more interested in at that point, right? I mean, it's going to be an interesting day for Lobo fan. They're going to play UCLA in basketball in Vegas and play San Diego State on the road in football the same day.
We know the answer to that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's see where football is at that point because that'll be interesting. November 12th, Texas A&M Corpus Christi at home. That is a Tuesday night game. Then they go to St. John's on a Sunday at Madison Square Garden, an away game on a Sunday at MSG, the Patino Bowl, and another one that I know you're looking forward to big. Come home, they play Grambling on a Thursday. Then the next Sunday, they get Texas Southern. And then Thanksgiving week, the 28th, so that'll be Thursday and Friday in Palm Springs, Arizona State, and then either USC or St. Mary's. Come home on December 7th, and they get the Aggies. December 7th is a Saturday. And then December 14th, the following Saturday, Western New Mexico. And then they go, they get the home game with VCU on a Wednesday before jumping into league play. A lot of challenges. I think VCU really interests me. If you don't know about VCU, you will. UCLA obviously just jumps off a schedule, any schedule, because they're UCLA. Mick Cronin loaded up too. He had a hell of a recruiting class. Rick Pitino did at St. John's as they go back east to play them. And then you see, a lot of the stuff you wanted to see. You wanted to see Arizona State, and that's Bobby Hurley's team. You wanted to see a USC or St. Mary's. So you kind of got guaranteed. JJ, I'm looking net ranks. What do you need? You need top 50. I got to believe UCLA will be there, as will St. John's. I don't know what Arizona State's going to be. And I mean, SC should be good. St. Mary's always is good, and VCU is good. You've got, I think, 5 guaranteed top 75 games on there at least, don't you?
There is potential for that, and there's 6 impact games overall, which we haven't had that in a long time in a non-conference schedule. And I'm including New Mexico State as one of those impact games because just the buzz. People are going to be excited to watch that contest. We know what the days are like leading up to that and around it for each fan base. So to have 6 meaningful non-conference games is a big step forward in the non-conference schedule. And you have to take those challenges. It's one where your team has to be good enough to get those opportunities, and you also have to go chase some of those games. And non-conference scheduling, I know coaches don't like to do it. They don't like to get themselves uncomfortable. But this sets up nicely where you can get big-time games in neutral site. One, of course, St. John's, which is going to be a true road game scenario. And the home and home that you start up with VCU, it's good for the future.
I think it's great for the future. Some of the schools that maybe you don't know about too, I think, will be interesting. I think Grambling, I'm interested to see what they're going to be. And this is one of those where you can look all you want at last year's net rankings, and they probably don't mean anything when you open up the season, because just like your roster, just like UCLA's roster, I'm going to guess, and I'm not going to pretend I've done a ton of research yet on Nichols or Texas A&M Corpus Christi or Texas Southern or Grambling, but I'm going to guess their rosters have turned over quite a bit as well, just like everybody else's. And so, how are they going to be? I don't know. I mean, we'll watch them when they get here, and we'll see as it goes on. But you filled out the roster. Home games in the pit, you got the New Mexico State game, you get the VCU game, which is something I think for fans to be excited about in December on the 7th and on the 18th. And you get that Saturday, the VCU games on the 18th. That's the third Saturday in December, typically. Where is that right? That's not right. The 18th is what day of the week is the 18th? It is a Wednesday. Yeah. So you get a midweek game as you're leading into the holidays. And then league play is going to start right away. Like, league play starts really, really early this year because you got a 20-game schedule. The Palm Springs tournament will be on the Turner networks, True and Max. So it'll be True TV games. So they've already put a time on the Arizona State game. So that'll be the second game of that. That'll be 9:30 local time, our time, on a Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. 8:30 out in California. So it'll be the second game. USC and St. Mary's will go first. And then depending on what you do with Arizona State, determine the time on Thanksgiving Day that you're going to play. So it's exciting, man. I look at it, and we've sat here so many times over the years with lethargy, with all right. I mean, that with the schedule. Now I get it. As far as a home schedule, you might not be as fired up as you want to be, but you do get 2 good ones in December. Whether New Mexico State's going to be good or not, and JJ, I don't know. I got to believe their roster turnover and what Jason Hooten's done down there and trying to revamp what they're doing. I got to believe they're going to be better. All I know is when you went down there last year, you needed a Donovan Dent dagger drive at the end to save yourself from getting beaten Las Cruces last year, didn't you?
Yeah, and I do believe that Lobo fans are excited about the schedule because the expectations for this team are to get back to the NCAA tournament, to not be in a situation where you have to win in Las Vegas to get in. and this gives you opportunities to build that resume, and you keep your fingers crossed that the Mountain West is able to hold up their end of the bargain, and you continue to have good conference games, and you should be putting yourself ahead of where you were last year resume-wise if you can win some of these games.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Lobo fan, you got your schedule. This was something I know it's always a big day when it comes out, and that was yesterday. So you open up with you get the exhibition with UTEP at home, and then you get Nichols at home before going on a Saturday to UCLA, November 8th. And again, that's something. Look, I'm sorry, on a Friday night to Vegas to play UCLA, and I mean just seeing UCLA on the schedule, right? That's kind of like, I mean, isn't that like seeing North Carolina, Duke, and Indiana? That's kind of, they're on the schedule. That's a big deal.
Impact.
And they're going to be good.
Name brand.
They will be good. I know they were down last year, but Mick Cronin had that team in the second half of the season playing a lot better. And then if you go look at the transfer portal, and he made it very clear, like they got NIL money. They went out and bought players. And you look at their roster, it's impact. It'll be early in the season. And then you come home, you get that Corpus Christi game and go back east on a Sunday at Madison Square Garden, which again should be another big deal. And then the home games before going to Thanksgiving, man. It's a whole lot before Thanksgiving, isn't it?
Yes.
No, I mean it's a big chunk. You get UCLA, St. John's in there, and then you get Arizona State and USC or St. Mary's before Thanksgiving. Before you
Isn't
play
that
the Aggies.
on Thanksgiving?
The second one
or
is Thanksgiving. So 28th is a Wednesday. I'm sorry, it's Thursday, Friday. Yeah, you're right. So the Arizona State game is Thursday night. So that'll be 9:30 on Thursday night, Thanksgiving night in Palm Springs. And Lobo football's in Hawaii.
Nice little turkey hangover watching some Lobo hoops.
Yeah, Lobo football's in Hawaii, so I'm not sure how they're going to handle that with I don't know if I'm going to be there, Rob's going to be there, or you're going to be there, or have you seen a women's schedule yet?
No, I have not.
Yeah, so I might be, I mean, who knows, man? We might be doing Thanksgiving in with last time I did Thanksgiving in the Western time zone with Hunter Green, I got a little food poisoning. It's kind of weird, man. I'm going to fly my daughter home, and I'm not going to be here. I guess I'll get home on Saturday. Get to see her. I mean, first world problems. It's kind of nice, but I think a lot of Lobo fans will spend Thanksgiving in Palm Springs. Don't you think?
I think so.
I mean, it's ideal to go out there. All right, Lobo fan, what do you think? That's your schedule, 505-246-0610. Want to hear your thoughts on it. And you can send emails, Jeff@sportsanimalabq.com and JJ@sportsanimalabq.com. All right, we get football tomorrow night. You will not see the number one pick in the draft. People are losing their minds over it. Why they should not be. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consultant.
You got to pay the rent, your mortgage is due, and I mean, that's what it means. But it also means tomorrow, JJ, that you get your first football game of the year, that you get the Hall of Fame game, if you consider that to be your first football game. And it kind of is, right? Don't you? I mean, it's football and it's on your TV and it's on ABC and it is what it is. But you will not get Caleb Williams. And I know people are losing their mind over this. The number 1 overall draft pick in the NFL draft of the Chicago Bears, and it's the Bears and the Texans. And it's a big stage in the respect that people will watch because it's on network television and because it is the first game of the year. But the Bears quarterback and the rest of the starters will not play tomorrow night. And people are losing their mind. You got to let them play. No, you don't, man. This is the right call. Starters don't play in this game. And to put them out there behind a makeshift line with third-string dudes who are trying to make a name for themselves, as they should be, by the way, no. Now, that doesn't mean I don't like Tyson Bagent. Somebody's got to play, and Tyson Bagent will be your quarterback for the Bears. But they have had 9 practices in training camp. That's it, 9. And they're going to go out and look, this is easy. If you're Matt Eberflus, you're the head coach of the Bears, this is easy. He said at the beginning of camp, the Bears will aim to play Caleb Williams in the range of 45 to 55 reps in the preseason. Okay. And they got three other games besides this. That's based on the workload last year's first-round quarterbacks received in exhibition games. So tomorrow's preseason opener is the fourth game. They get an extra game. Quote from Eberflus. This is the coach. I do know that we're getting a lot of good reps in practice. Those are also equally as valuable, and the Cincinnati work is going to also be equally as valuable as those games because there you can run some more things and you're doing some different things. It's good on good there too, end quote. Basically what he's saying is I'm not putting him out there. A, when he's not ready. B, behind a makeshift offensive line of guys that are not going to make the team. And run him out there and get hurt just so you guys can see him. JJ, this is an easy answer, and I know people are losing their mind over this, and you got to play him, and it's national TV, and it's a hall. No. Easy answer, right answer. Caleb Williams not playing tomorrow.
He'll get his opportunity later in the preseason. Hall of Fame games just to be out there, get some of the backups reps, and for us just to sit down, pull out our fantasy football sheets, watch some football in the background, and stress about what our draft is going to look like.
Yeah, you're going to say, oh, look, that fifth-round pick of the
Someone's
Bears.
going to break a big play,
he's my dude.
and you're going to be jotting his name down as you should. That's what the
dude.
preseason is about.
Yeah.
You need to find the next Puka Nacua.
Yeah, he's my dude. Who is the next Puka Nacua?
I don't think it's going to be anyone that is actually in the fifth round.
Fourth round, Jacob Kelly?
Could be interesting. One of the things to watch this year, especially with the receivers outside of the first two rounds, because the rookie receiver market's going to be hot and heavy. Like, you're paying a high price for these guys this season.
Receivers?
With, like, Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors. Like, they're going top 20. Just crazy.
Top 20?
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go there. Those Malik Neighbors, who's your number one? Is it Marvin Harrison Jr.? Is it Malik Neighbors? Like, Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be catching balls from Kyler Murray. Malik Neighbors is going to be catching them from Daniel Jones. So your top rookie receiver, the way I see it, I see Marvin Harrison ranked 9th. And then the next rookie I see is down. Malik Neighbors at 29. And you say Malik Neighbors going top 20 overall?
Yeah, there's some where he pushes up there. If I'm going after a Wookiee wide receiver.
A Wookiee. I want a Wookiee. I want a Wookiee wide receiver.
A Wookiee wide receiver for Team Chewbacca.
Yes.
My favorite is Keon Coleman.
Okay. Is he in Buffalo?
His ADP is
He's
8th
Buffalo?
or 9th round.
Buffalo?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was the Buffalo Bills' first pick of the second round. Now, this is all different.
Because you figure Josh Allen's going to need a new favorite toy.
And if you're playing in a keeper league, then I could see chasing Marvin Harrison Jr. or Malik Neighbors in the first couple of rounds, depending on how your keeper works, to potentially have an elite receiver for next few seasons. So there's so many little factors that come into this style of league you're in, what you're looking for. But if I'm looking at some of those other receivers in that area where Marvin Harrison Jr. has been going,
I see him 9th everywhere.
Yeah, so he's wide receiver 9, is ADP, so his average draft position is 16. So right there in the middle of the second round in PPR leagues right now. I'm at that point in time, I like Devontae Adams if he's on the board over Marvin Harrison Jr. That's also right there where you can pick between usually Marvin Harrison Jr. and Puka Nacua. Well, I'm going Puka Nacua.
Especially in a PPR league.
Yeah. Huge price tag on Harrison Jr.
Interesting. Devontae Adams or Marvin Harrison Jr.?
I like Devontae Adams.
Drake London or Marvin Harrison Jr.?
I would go Marvin Harrison Jr. in that case.
Chris Olave.
I like Chris Olave.
Brandon Ayuk.
I'm going Marvin Harrison Jr. over Brandon Ayuk.
Mike Evans.
I'm riding that train until the wheels fall off. 1,000-yard season every year he's been in the league.
Nico Collins.
I'll go Harrison Jr. over Nico, though.
All right.
Just because the target tree is a lot muddier now with Stephon Diggs in town for the
All right.
Texans.
How about the guy who just got paid, DJ Moore?
I like Marvin Harrison Jr. over DJ Moore.
What do you make of DJ Moore? He just got 4 years, $110 million extended by the Bears to be the number one receiver for Caleb Williams.
I do think he holds on to that. Number one. I think
They got
Keenan
Allen's
gets his
there
word.
too, yeah.
Though rookie wide receiver Roma Odunze is on the outside looking in. I think it's going to be.
Who's the number 2 guy there?
I think the
Odunze.
number 2 is going to be Keenan Allen.
So where does Odunze fit in?
Odunze, I think, is going to have a similar season to Jackson Smith and Jigba last year.
Where he's just trying to find his spot because there were 2 dudes in front of him. There was Metcalf and Lockett up in Seattle, and he had his flashes, and you saw him run away, and you're like, okay, that's the dude. He's finally going to break out, and it may take him a couple of years. It's interesting. Odunze, spot wise, like if he would have landed somewhere else, he could be. And do you agree with this? If he lands somewhere else, he could have been in this conversation that we're having with Malik Neighbors. Like, let's just say he landed in, Green Bay for that matter, but Buffalo. If he was in the Keon Coleman spot.
Oh, he would. Where he was drafted.
Yeah.
Like if he ended up, top 15, those guys are always going to get pushed up.
But I'm just saying, situation wise,
I don't think he'd be going in the 9th round.
9th overall. Ninth round in
like
fantasy
Keon
draft.
Coleman.
Yeah, if you put him in, I'm Baltimore.
And Jackson Smith and Jigba last year was
good.
He was good. He was kind of a wide receiver 4, flex split at times. So
I had him for a minute.
That's one where, Roma Odunze was the 9th overall pick, but he's going to be the 3rd, maybe even 4th option.
All right, 505-246-0610. Mike, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. How you living, Mike?
Hey, I'm living good, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to weigh in a little bit about this fantasy football talk. Been in leagues for so long, and the beauty of these rookie wide receivers, in my opinion, is getting somebody late in the draft, finding the diamond. That Puka Nacua was last year. A lot of guys had just picked him up on waivers. He wasn't even drafted in like 80% of leagues.
I drafted him, right, Mike?
Personally, I think that Marvin Harrison Jr. pick inside the top 20, that is a crazy pick. There's no way I'm ever making that pick.
So who are you taking in front of him?
Go ahead.
Who are you taking in front of him? So let me right around there, right around where Marvin Harrison Jr. is ranked. You've got Garrett Wilson, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Chris Olave, Drake London, Brandon Ayuk, Mike Evans, Nico Collins. You taking all those guys in front of him?
I'm taking all of those. Drake London with a little bit of question mark, but now he's got Kirk Cousins throwing him the ball.
Right.
I'm taking that. I'm just taking that. Maybe over Drake London, but I really just avoid Marvin Harrison and Drake London, to be honest with you on that, and settle for rookies way down the line, like Worthy with Kansas City, or some of these other guys with more proven quarterbacks. But another thing too, staying way clear of Malik Neighbors. I don't trust Daniel Jones at all in that offense for the Giants at all, not at all. So thank you guys for taking my call. Have a great day.
Yeah. So the other thing is watch camps and listen to people you trust, and that's how I found Puka Nacua last year, right?
Yeah.
I told you that
there are things you can take out of camp reports.
So the way I drafted Nacua last year in the last pick, and I remember everybody just kind of going, "What are you doing?" And the other league, I meant to buy him with $1 for my last, and I'm still kicking myself for that. But I was watching a Rams game on Channel 7. They're playing the Cardinals, and Andrew Whitworth, their former tackle, who was a commentator, and was just really talking about the rapport that he had with Matthew Stafford. At the time, Cooper Kupp was injured, if you recall, at the beginning of the season. And I started reading a bunch of stuff, and you're like, wow, he's not the only voice that's saying this. And, if you want, it depends how much research you want to do and how deep of a dive you want to do. But it just caught my attention. I'm like, all right, let me put that guy on, because if Cooper Kupp's hurt, Matthew Stafford, that's right. I didn't know that much about him, but it felt like I looked at that roster, who's going to be the number one guy, and it turned out to be Puka Nacua. So, I don't know. Last pick of the draft turned out pretty well. Now he's my keeper.
Yeah, I do like in the double-digit rounds sprinkling in on some of those other rookie wide receivers if they fall. There's just so much hype on this class. Like Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be gone within the first 2
What are you doing with running backs, dude?
So running backs...
Because I know you're way on the other side of this.
Running back, for me, it's changed a little bit where I want to make sure I have 3 options by round 10. So the way it's gone with the as we've gotten closer to the season, like their value's been pushed back. People are selecting more running backs. Really, I still like waiting to the third or fourth round to kind of get my RB1, and then when I get
what's left then?
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean honestly, I'm not kidding you. What's left for RB1 by the third or fourth round?
So I really like the guys that are falling in there. There's kind of Josh Jacobs.
He's fallen to the fourth round?
Yeah. In PPR leagues.
Huh. I mean, I would take him in the second round if he's sitting there for me.
And you're overdrafting Josh Jacobs.
Maybe. I feel naked if I don't have a running back quick. I just, to me, and this has always been, and you saw my roster last year, the one that didn't make the playoffs. But it was it was loaded. There's always receivers. There's always, because there's so many of them. Now, there's not that many elite ones. You run out of running backs. No?
You don't. Running backs, there's a lot more turnover than you think.
Okay. All right. 505. We should do it. I mean, we can if you want. If you want to get on fantasy football, I mean, we're here for you. JJ's got a podcast. It's called
Three Dudes Fantasy Football Show. You can check us out on YouTube. We actually, 2 weeks ago, a great episode discussing this. We did a 10-team PPR draft where each one of us drafted from a different position, 1, 5, and 10. And it really gives you a good idea of when you're talking this out of how where you draft really does change your draft strategy. So if you're at the end of the draft, maybe you want to push up running backs a little bit more. If you're in the front, you can take advantage of some of the depth.
All right. If you got fantasy football stuff, jump in 505-246-0610. Area code 505-246-0610. Meanwhile, in Broncos camp, it feels like they're whittling it down. Has it gone from 3 options to 2 at quarterback? Maybe. Who's in? Who's not? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. And AM 610, the sports animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
AM 610, the sports animal.
Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. Glad you're here. 505-246-0610. Thanks for making us part of your day. I know you got a lot going on. You got a lot of options, and we are very appreciative that you opt to find us on a daily basis. 505-246-0610 is how to get here. All right, so JJ, there's battles at quarterback. It seems like, if you believe what the report is coming out of Denver, is the Broncos quarterback competition may be down to 2. And according to the report on CBS by Brian Diardo, that it might be down to Jarrett Stidham and Bo Nix, and Zach Wilson is out. Yesterday, during practice, Stidham took the reps with the first team, despite it being Zach Wilson's turn in the rotation. The rotation also includes Bo Nix, who also received first team work on Monday. Afterwards, Sean Payton said there's no new news to announce. He is the head coach. He was asked if Wilson will get any more opportunities with the first team offense. His response was, "We'll see." I don't know that I think this is a surprise. This was a guy who came in, look, they traded a 6th-round pick to get him, a former first-round pick by the Jets. I think this was a flyer before they knew what they were going to get in the draft. And, I mean, the odds, what do you think greater odds? Zach Wilson takes a snap with the Broncos this year or gets cut?
Oh, in that scenario, I'm saying gets cut.
I think that's probably right. Yeah, this isn't a surprise, is it?
No, that what you said was right. That was kind of a, in case of emergency, break glass move. And then they landed Bo Nix. For some reason, Sean Payton just wants Jarrett Stidham to become something, so they're going to continue to push that. And I actually expect Jarrett Stidham to start the season, and then you'll have that handoff somewhere in the middle of the year to Bo Nix.
Now, injuries happen, and I'm not wishing injuries on anybody. I just I've watched the National Football League for a while, and I realize the teams get down to their second and not uncommonly down to their third quarterbacks. And so can Zach Wilson play? Dude, he's 24 years old. He was a number 2 overall pick in the draft. There was conversation, should he go number 1? Will he ever play in the NFL again?
Yes.
You believe he will? So he'll be on somebody's roster and get forced into action because of injury somewhere down the line.
I would bet on it.
Is he in the league in 3 years? Is he a backup in this league? Because it doesn't.
3 years.
It doesn't feel like he's a warm, cuddly camp guy. It doesn't feel like he is a Sam Darnold who's going to stick around and bounce around. Everybody's going to say great things about. I mean, it doesn't feel like this is one of those guys who everybody really likes.
I could see in 3 years being out of the league.
Is he on my TV or is he just on doing BYU games?
Probably a lot of these guys are just gone.
Yeah. I mean, look, he made money. He's getting married, and good for him. I don't know him. I know just what I read. And he's an interesting cat now. He's an interesting guy who had one hell of a college career and who's made a little bit of money. Not, huge NFL money, but he's made some money. And he just got a chance, dude. And I got to believe that Sean Payton was giving him a chance to compete. Don't you think?
Yeah, so the 2021 draft class, it was Trevor Lawrence at the top.
Yeah.
But the other quarterbacks, it was Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Mac Jones.
There was talk at that time, should he be number 1?
And it was stupid talk over Trevor Lawrence.
Look,
no one,
man.
That's just, hey, let's have a hot take because we have a radio.
Yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence was the obvious one.
Never not the number 1.
Do you realize that there was real talk? Should Rick Meyer have been the guy over Drew Bledsoe? That should Ryan Leaf have gone instead of Peyton Manning?
Well,
that was
Trevor Lawrence. We watched
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence going to be anything other than the number 1.
Yeah, I think on Trevor Lawrence, you're right. I think that was just people trying to be hot talk guy. All right, 505-246-0610. There was another quarterback who got some more money yesterday. What does that mean for the NFC West? It wasn't your guy, Brock Purdy. It's the opening drive. We'll talk with Heather Dyke at 8:30. She's the head coach of Lobo Women's Soccer. They got friendly on Friday against the U.S. national team. The deaf U.S. national team's in town. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Light skin shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
A sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, you get football tomorrow. Wait is somewhat over. You won't get Caleb Williams, the number 1 pick in the draft of the Chicago Bears. It's the right thing to do. Isn't it crazy how people were losing their mind over this yesterday? Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, glad you're with us on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Were you surprised? And maybe it's just late July, late summer. People need to have a hot take. People need to get pissed off about something. I was surprised at the amount of people who were yelling and screaming yesterday that they've got to play Caleb Williams. He's the number 1 overall pick. It's the Hall of Fame game. And I'm like, you're just, have you watched quarterbacks go down? Have you watched guys? You're going to put them behind a makeshift line of 3rd and 4th string guys and free agents and 6th round picks and guys on the other line who are trying to make a statement. And I'm going to throw my investment out there to get murdered. There's just no way.
That would be a bad idea. You plan it to where if you want the first team offense to get any work, then you need them all out there together. I can understand if even like say Keenan Allen doesn't play, but you say, all right, here's a series where J.J. Moore, Cole Kmet, Roma Dunze,
right,
DeAndre Swift. Go have your series. Cool story. But you got to plan that, and I don't think that's going to be in the Hall of Fame game, and it shouldn't be that surprising.
No, it shouldn't be, and it should. He just shouldn't play. Well, Jeff, I mean, he's getting paid to play. Yeah. He's getting paid to play games that matter. And with all due respect, this game doesn't matter. It's your traditional kickoff. You get excited for a minute, and then you realize, wow, this is bad football. There's a reason that Tyson Bagent is starting, and these dudes are out there, and maybe you've got a guy that you watched on your college team. It's not good football. The games end up being like 12-9, right? I mean, didn't one year they didn't play because the paint was wrong?
Yes, I remember that. The paint game.
That's the other thing. The
slippery
field isn't a great field. I don't need a non-contact or a non-contact injury. They canceled this game like 3-4 years ago because they put the wrong paint on the field. It was too slippery, and they didn't play the freaking game. But I'm going to put my number 1 overall pick, franchise saver, out there behind a 4th string line against dudes who are trying to make a name for themselves on a bad field with potentially crappy paint? Thank you. But go swim in the River Seine and try to keep E. coli out of your mouth. There's no way. No way. All right, the Rams redid Matthew Stafford's contract. And I'm not really sure what it means. I don't know that I think that they're committed to him much more long-term, but he's the solution for now. At some point, is it next year or the year after, we got to start having a conversation about who's next for the Rams?
Should be next year. It's not Stetson Bennett. It's not.
Well,
So,
okay. Do we know that for sure? Because I was going to ask the question.
I will bet on that.
Okay, tell me why.
Because sometimes you're just
an
a
idiot
good college quarterback.
Yeah, and that's fine.
And I don't think Stetson Bennett is falling into the Brock Purdy camp. He's national champion.
I think
he has
you're right.
fine backup qualities. I don't see him excelling as the next guy to step up just because of Deshaun McVay offense and be that next guy. And this makes sense. And to me, with Matthew Stafford, if it's year to year, so be it.
How old is he? 36, 35?
And they gave him a few more guarantees, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that right now. You're not overextending yourself.
36.
And if he gets to a point where he says, all right, I'm done, then you don't have extra years on the back end of the contract.
All right. Look, I agree with you on Stetson Bennett, although I want to see him. Like, I want to see something. And he was out for whatever he was out for. That's kind of the most best-kept secret, period, in the NFL. What was he out for? Do we know? It was personal reasons. Yeah. Normally.
Stetson Bennett feels just like all the Alabama quarterbacks that won championship.
Even though he's from Georgia, but yeah, he does. He like a McElroy, and yeah, I agree with that. He was a system guy surrounded by unbelievable talent. He did a good job. He should be a legend at Georgia. I agree with all that. By the way, if he was Aaron Rodgers, we'd know exactly what his personal issues were, but he's Stetson Bennett. Nobody gives a damn. Right? I mean, we'd know when he was in Egypt or we'd know. All right. So Stafford is reported to camp, says he's relieved that the issue has been resolved. He's got a revised deal. So he got it $12.5 million. So, hey, come to camp. We'll give you $12.5 million. All right. So you got $12.5 million signing bonus plus $23.5 million guaranteed this year and a $4 million guaranteed March roster bonus, which he's going to get. So that's 27.5, 37, 39. So that's $40 million he just got basically yesterday. So, right, it's a 1 year, $40 million deal. He gave up his guarantees in 2025. So by doing the deal this way, he gives himself the ability to sign an entirely new contract next offseason. So let's say he has a good year. Let's say Matthew Stafford has a good year. Last year, he threw for almost 4,000 yards, 24 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Let's say he has that year. What do you do with him if you're the Rams? His contract's up. Do you give him? I mean, he's 36, then he's going to be 37. You give him 2 years at $100 million? What do you do?
Yes.
Is that the deal?
Just front load it with guarantees and bonuses. So if something does happen, or if you decide, you know what, I don't think I can handle 2 years, you're not on the hook for a huge cap hit the following season.
So after the Super Bowl, he got a 4-year, $160 million extension, which is now obsolete because he's only making $40 million a year, but he's making another $40 million now. It's insane. But he knows he's getting towards the end. At some point, they're going to have to figure out a plan. A plan. Look, can we have a real conversation? We throw around all these destinations. Dak Prescott could be a Ram next year.
Yes. And that's the answer to these questions. I know you like to say, well, what's your plan? Well, sometimes your plan is we'll just draft a quarterback, or we'll see what happens in free agency.
Yeah, I think Dak Prescott, the way this is going right now, Dak Prescott's going to be the prize free agent next year.
How would you feel?
I'd be all right.
Dak Prescott steps into a Sean McVay offense.
So I'd be all right with it because I think Dak's good, and I'd like to see him. Dak is good. Dak has not proven himself in the big moments. I'd like to see him get a fresh start. I really would. I wouldn't hate it if he's the Rams quarterback. If you're going to ask me who would I rather have next year, Matthew Stafford or him, I'm struggling with an answer. Because Matthew Stafford is going to be 37. Dak's in his prime, 31.
Matthew Stafford on a 1 or 2 year deal versus...
I think I'd rather have Matthew Stafford.
Dak Prescott contract.
I'd rather have
that factors in.
Then I'd rather have Matthew Stafford, I think. Plus, I love the connection, right? They've got a couple of receivers, and I think Cooper Kupp's going to have a little bit of a comeback year. But the connection he's got with Nakua and Kupp is, with the Puka and Cooper show. is pretty amazing. Is Tutu still there? They got Puka and Tutu and Cup.
He's going to be fighting for his life on that roster.
I know. And then whatever the rookie class is going to be, and that's the free agent next year, right? It might be Geno, it might be Stafford, it might be Dak. But as I look around this thing, I'm not sure I see a bunch of other impact moves. Dak's going to be the one. And to your point, it's going to be a freaking bidding war. That's why Dak's making $60 million next year. Because Seattle and Vegas and maybe the Rams and New Orleans and probably the Giants and, I mean, just go through it. There's going to be 5 teams. I mean, who knows what happens with Will Levis in Tennessee? It's a big year for him, right? I think Will Levis is going to be okay, by the way. Where are you on Will Levis? I like him.
I feel okay because I like what Tennessee did. They went all in on the offense. Brian Callahan, new head coach, comes over as the offensive coordinator from the Bengals. You have Nuke Hopkins there. They gave bag to Calvin Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
They brought in Tyler Boyd from Cincinnati to help be a veteran in an offense that he knows.
What do you think of him there, by the way? I think he may end up being too, because they didn't go to Nuke Hopkins much last year, and Calvin Ridley I thought was a disappointment last year.
Yeah, Calvin Ridley is the $100 million disappointment that he's going to be a part of that offense.
So they're going to throw him the damn ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the running back, it's going to be a combo. It's Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears, but they've invested heavily in giving a young quarterback what he needs to try to succeed.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I like Will Levis. I like his makeup. I like that it's quiet around him, that quarterback class that you looked at it, he was kind of the afterthought. He was a guy that, wow, is he going to go number 1 or 2? And he ended up slipping to the second round. They got him in mid-season, kind of said, all right, you're our dude.
And this is to the conversation of there's not those expectations. So Will Levis can struggle a little bit, and it's not going to be it. The quarterback position is always going to be on scrutiny, but it wouldn't be the same as if he was Will Levis, the 5th overall pick that struggles early.
I agree with that. And I think he's going to be one of the surprise quarterbacks this year. Let me give you one other I want to talk.
Well, just look at that whole division right now. You have the Trevor Lawrence, like, all right, you're getting paid. You better win this division.
You better.
You have, the best quarterback in the division is probably C.J. Stroud.
Yep.
The hype around Anthony Richardson is insane.
All right, so who's going to have a better year when it's all said and done? Anthony Richardson or Will Levis? The easy answer is Richardson. Oh, he's better. He's more athletic. I'm not. If you're going to ask me that question, and I'll ask me that question, I'm going Will Levis.
I think we'll see a better passing season from Will Levis.
It's a better overall season. Who's going to have a better record? Those two teams are not horribly dissimilar roster-wise.
I think we're looking at 7-8 wins.
Both of them? All right. Kyler Murray. When we come back, I want to talk. It's a big year. It's a big bounce back year for Kyler Murray because he got paid and they've kind of disappeared. He's been hurt. What happens with the Cardinals? I like the Cardinals this year. I know I'm kind of on a limb liking the Cardinals. I want your thoughts on Kyler Murray. I'll give you mine. I want JJ's as well. Coming up at 8:30, Heather Dyke's going to be with us. We'll talk some Lobo women's soccer here on the opening drive. Meanwhile, you're driving around in your vehicle, and you're looking at it, you're going, damn, it stinks. I know. It gets that way. It's dirty. Oh, it's been summer. You've been on road trips. Head into the new school year. Get your car detailed. On the Spot Automotive Detailing will do that for you, and they will come to you at your convenience where it works for you, when it works for you, and they'll detail your vehicle. What is a detailing? Have you ever had one? Like, it's kind of one of the coolest things ever. So you're in your office or you're in the house, you're busy. They're out in the parking lot. They're in the driveway. You get a text, you go outside. Your car is detailed. That means it's spotless clean, inside, outside, underneath the seats, under the hood, around the rims. Like, remember the day you bought it? Remember how clean? That's what the auto dealers do. They detail your vehicle. That's what On the Spot Automotive Detailing does. When was the last time you had that feeling? They were awarded best in the city because they are the best in the city. They are also your spot for window tinting. Certified 3M dealer. That means they've got the best product on the market. They also have a ceramic tint, which blocks 99% of UV and infrared rays. That keeps your car looking and feeling cool. It's the professional tint you need. On the Spot Automotive Detailing, this is a great gift. You're looking for that, like there's weddings or something. Would that be a cool wedding gift? Like if you got married and you got this would be really cool. Birthday gift, anniversary gift. Hey, honey, go get your car detailed. On the Spot Automotive Detailing. It's at otsdetailing.com, or you can call them at 505-859-2859, 505-859-2859.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction
get home safe every day to their families. Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Young driver, this one.
NFL. No Caleb Williams tomorrow night in the Hall of Fame game for the Bears. Right move. Sean Payton, the coach of the Broncos, says, look, we got a plan. A little testy when Zach Wilson was skipped over in the rotation at this is why coaches close practice, by the way, right? Because you got, and reporters doing their job. They've got a job to do in their watch. Whoa, that was Zach Wilson's turn, and Stidham got it instead. Wait a minute, what's going on? And so he was asked about the change in the order, and look, we got a plan. Bo ran with the ones Monday, Zach with the twos today, was Stidham with the ones. No news to announce there. I know you're looking for it, but ... So that's your news out of their camp. And then so tell me about the Kyler Murray thing. It's really, really quiet coming out of Cardinals camp. And Kyler Murray got paid. Kyler Murray's your guy. Kyler Murray's... JJ, fill in the blank. Kyler Murray is blank as a quarterback.
What context are we looking at?
As an NFL
is
quarterback.
A good NFL quarterback.
Okay.
This season.
All right. I'll give you a few contexts. As a franchise quarterback, Kyler Murray is blank.
Playoff caliber.
Ooh. All right.
I think he's going to reignite an offense that has some very interesting pieces. And the offense should be successful this season for Arizona.
All right. As a fantasy quarterback, Kyler Murray is blank.
Could be a late round steal.
What if he's my
I'm taking him over a lot. We're having the Aaron Rodgers conversation, Will Levis, Deshaun Watson. I'll throw Kyler Murray out there, absolutely, because I think he'll run a little bit more, use his athleticism. And it's not just Marvin Harrison Jr. as number one. I have Trey McBride, who's a top 5 tight end, potentially in fantasy football. Michael Wilson, solid number 2. James Conner, he has weapons on that offense.
I see him high as number 9. Let me give you the guys right around him. I'm going to go 2 higher and 2 lower in this one I'm looking at here. Anthony Richardson, 7, which I'm not. Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Tua Tagovailoa.
Jordan Love's going to go in the top 6 or 7 rounds for sure.
Okay.
He's going to, if I was selecting between that group, Jordan Love is my top quarterback out of that group.
Okay.
Like Kyler Murray.
You like him above Richardson, Prescott, Purdy?
Richardson is going to be a quarterback that when you get to your fantasy football draft, someone's taking him in the 5th round.
That's right.
Because they'll be like, oh, he's going to score 10 touchdowns. Josh Allen 2.0.
Okay.
So there's fantastic value there for Kyler Murray.
I kind of like it. Kyler Murray or Jordan Love. How about Kyler Murray or Brock Purdy?
I think if you're a gambling man, if you're doing fantasy football,
well, you are then. Then the two go together.
Kyler Murray. But if you're looking for consistency and you know that your floor is going to be solid week in, week out, maybe with a couple pop weeks, it's Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy doesn't let you down. He doesn't turn the ball over. He gives you 2 touchdowns a week and 287 yards, and then they win. And they win. Every once in a while, he'll run for 2 touchdowns. And they win. He's just solid. All right. Man, that's a lot of fantasy football talk, but I'm actually kind of into it. I think everybody's just starting to look at it. How about, why is Jared Goff so low? Jared Goff throws for 320 yards a week. It's a bonus, and he usually gets you 2 to 3 touchdowns.
Because he doesn't throw that many yards per week.
He doesn't?
Because Jared Goff is in that Brock Purdy mold, where it feels like he should be scoring so many more fantasy football points than he does.
Because they win.
But it's like 16, 17 points.
You know who tends to score fantasy points are dudes who lose because they're playing from behind. And they get you a lot of fourth quarter points because they have to. All right. 505-246-0610. We'll get back to your phone calls in a little bit. When we return, it is time to talk a little Lobo women's soccer. Lobo women are on the pitch on Friday. They will open up against the United States national or deaf national team. And what kind of team do they got? Heather Dyke's going to join us. She's the head coach of Lobo soccer. We'll go through her schedule. We'll go through her sport. Maybe even get a thought on the Olympics as well.
Because it is match day. Team USA versus Australia.
In the Olympics.
In the Olympics.
Yeah. The U.S. national team is playing Australia today. So we'll talk to her about all that. It's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Evergard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all mine.
Man, it's a big weekend. It's starting to feel like, aside from the fact that it's going to be like 98 degrees today, I mean, you get football tomorrow night, you get football tonight and on Friday. Soccer, New Mexico United tonight against Las Vegas, and then out at the UNM soccer field at the complex. Lobo women's soccer and exhibition, a friendly against the United States Deaf women's national team. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Lobo women will open up the season with an exhibition on August 11th, which is just 12 days away, against Abilene Christian, and then go for real on the 18th at New Mexico State. Their head coach is Heather. Oh, she's not. I saw the line blinking, and she's not. But she'll be here in a few minutes. And looking forward to getting into it. But their non-conference schedule is New Mexico State on the road, and then they get UC Riverside, and then home matches. And I mean, you get some quality coming in. You get Oregon, San Diego, UC Santa Barbara, and UTEP all coming into the UNM soccer complex before they go to Northern Arizona and then open up conference play against UNLV, and then they'll get UNLV, Nevada, Boise State, go through the whole thing. But as always, a lot of high hopes for a Lobo women's soccer team that's got a mixture of new and familiar. They've got a lot of players from New Mexico on that squad, and what Heather does is a great job. So we'll attempt to get with Heather, and as soon as we get her, we'll get her in here. But JJ, I know you've got the call on this. Have you done your homework on this already? What is the UNM women's soccer team this year?
No idea. Have I done my homework? Yes. Do I have the rosters, the bios?
So
I haven't.
A bunch of new.
Yes, I haven't been able to see them in person yet.
Yeah.
And then, of course, once I get an opportunity to talk with Coach a lot more, get the inside of how they're looking, what they're going to look like.
All right. United play tonight. They're out at the ball pitch against Las Vegas. United at the top of the table in first place, coming off the win on Saturday past in El Paso against Locomotive. 2-1 was the tally there. Daniel Bruce with the winning goal in the second half. And United continue to roll towards the playoffs and what has been a special season and could end up being something really magical as they go down towards the back end of the season. So when we get Heather, we'll talk to her about what's coming up on Friday, and you can go out and you can check them out. Hey, are you familiar with Hawkeye? This is a term that is now, I think you're going to get more and more familiar with in National Football League. So we've had this conversation, and we're not the only ones. In 2024, well, we've got AI and video calling and all these things we take for granted technology-wise. The way we're still measuring first downs is three dudes with these sticks and a 10-yard chain running out and trying to put it exactly where it is. And is it a first down? Is it not a first down? I mean, we got robot strike zones in baseball, right? And it is still, but we've always said, well, yeah, but what better? What's a better way to measure what's a first down, right?
Well, there hasn't been as big of an uproar with football, with the dudes in a pile, a lot of times just guessing where the guy is.
And there's no better way to do this, because there's not ever going to be a way, when's an elbow or a knee down, where exactly is the ball? They're like, I say that now, and in 3 years there'll be a technology. Nope, the limb hit the ground and we know where the ball is. So you got dudes are guessing how to spot the ball. Your bigger issue is how to spot it than are the chains in the right place, right? But there's something called Hawkeye, and the NFL is moving closer to maybe replacing the chain gang with this new technology. So Gary Brantley is with the NFL, and he was talking about this, and it's a Sony product. And Hawkeye technology is going to be used during some preseason games. Probably won't be ready for full implementation until next season, although they say it could happen sooner. Quote, we're in the installation phase for all of our stadiums, really getting them calibrated and up to date. We're just really getting to a place where the system is as accurate as possible and really calibrating across our multiple stadiums. We have multiple stadiums with multiple dimensions inside of those stadiums with a different age. So we're really just going through the installation, putting the infrastructure in and making sure the cameras are installed. All right, great. So what is it? Sony has expanded its sports technology through Hawkeye Innovations to support this officiating and development of on-field and sideline technologies. And this is, they've got a new coaching headset that they're putting out this year. The Hawkeye tracking services for line-to-game measurements will add cameras to stadiums to track players, officials, and the ball. They call it the optimal tracking system that notifies officials instantly if a first down was gained after the ball is spotted by hand. So they're still going to have to spot the ball once the ball is put down, JJ. Then the cameras will know if it reached the line to gain or not. No more pulling out a credit card to see if there's room in between that and the stick.
The infamous note card.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. They say they're reducing a significant amount of time, 40 seconds for each time of use. That's basically making the game that much more impactful. That's what Sony's guy says. And then also he says the system is accurate down to less than half an inch, which is incredibly, incredibly accurate. Hopefully the fans appreciate the objective view, or at least half the fans of each play will appreciate it. End quote. Ha, 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 ha. All right. I'm interested. I'm listening. I'm not mad. And I was slow to come along on the robot strike zone. I'm still not totally there, but I didn't destroy the game in minor league baseball. I can live with it. It feels like this is a long overdue technology, doesn't it? And to your point, there hasn't been a big uproar. It's just kind of, God, this is what we got. And I think the big uproar is, well, gosh, how are we ever going to get anything better with these kind of pudgy dudes and carrying sticks going up and down the field and putting the chain down, and kind of weird, but all right, is there something better?
I think one of the most important things with all this, yes, it's getting something right, but it's efficient with it.
I think that's right.
So it's not cumbersome. It doesn't feel clunky. And I think we've watched that in minor league baseball. Like, it's a very efficient system. The majority of people that go to these games, when they're using the automated balls and strikes, have no idea the ump's not calling.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
It's just the diehards that are still complaining that they've made changes to baseball.
Is anybody still complaining?
It's going to be your diehards of whatever sport when they change something.
Yeah, it feels like they've gotten there.
But I'll watch a baseball game, and yes, there's things that can happen unexpectedly, like a walk-off pitch clock violation. But the game itself, I don't watch it and go, man, they broke this.
Well, I think there should be some sort of modification, like, in ninth inning, maybe add 5 seconds to the pitch clock, or have a leniency where you get a 1 warning in the ninth inning. Like, nobody wants to see a walk-off pitch clock violation in a game. Nobody.
Then throw the ball.
I get it. But sometimes something happens. You shake off a sign, you step off the rubber, a fly buzzes by your head, whatever. So you don't think there should be a 1 warning leniency in the ninth inning?
Play the game.
Yeah, I'll disagree with you, but okay. I mean, we do things differently in the last 2 minutes of basketball games. We do. You officiate it differently in the last 2 minutes. All of a sudden, you can go to the replay to see if the ball went out of bounds off a dude's hands.
Yes, you can.
Why would you not officiate a little bit differently at the end of a baseball game? Why would it hurt to give leniency? You get 1 warning. You get 1 free violation. Why would that hurt?
Well, that's the shot clock doesn't change in basketball.
No, but I mean, it's a different variation of leniency, or maybe leniency isn't the right word. A different variation, and I'll argue against me, but in basketball, that would be to get it right. This isn't about getting it right. It's just so we don't have a damn walk-off pitch clock violation. But why not, when the game's on the line, we do it in every other sport. Why not here?
Do what? Change the clocks? Like they stop?
We officiate differently. Okay, in football, there's no coaches' challenges in the last 2 minutes. It's all upstairs, right? I mean, we do. We realize that it's crunch time. What would it hurt to give, you'd rather see a walk-off?
Just throw the ball.
I get that. You're right. Okay, at the premise, you're right. Yes.
If you need to step off, you have a disengagement. If you've used it, then you got to be able to handle the pressure.
Yeah, I mean, at the premise, you're right. But when we say, I just want to, let's get the call right. It's not right for a game to end on a walk-off pitch clock violation. It's just not. And at the core, you are absolutely right. Just throw the freaking baseball. But, I mean, this is one of those, and it would be a little tweak, and they'd be sitting in December in a hotel somewhere to discuss this. But I'd be down with that. That's just me.
Would it be just ninth inning baseball?
Yes. You get one. And
what about the team in the bottom of the 8th inning versus top of the 9th inning?
Top of the 9th is the 9th? Just say the 9th.
So just the 9th inning.
9th and extras. 9th and extra innings. Yeah. It does get a little, and I would also add one more mound visit, but in extra innings, but that's another story. All right, when we come back, all right, so you're not seeing Caleb Williams. You got the Broncos quarterback situation. When will you see your favorite quarterback, Aaron Rodgers? He's not my favorite, Jeff. I got it. When will you see Aaron Rodgers? Will it be in preseason, or are they going to hold him out till Monday Night Football, the first game of the year? It's the opening drive. Jeff JJ on 95.9 FM and AM 610. Hey, sports animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2000 2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, refractive lens exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of Pro V Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal.
2 Men On with Van and Fred. Weekdays from 4 till 7 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
We want to give you a little time away, courtesy of the Sports Animal. Our first trips on a tank full giveaway is hot right now, and it's to Hot Springs Glamp Camp. It's presented by Mercedes-Benz of Albuquerque. If you win, you'll receive $100. No, that would be $150. Fuel card, $150 in fuel, and a night of luxurious accommodations, glamping in an RV, a yurt, or a dome. You'll have access to the on-site hot springs. It's all right there on our website. If you want a trip on a tank full, go sign up. SportsAnimalABQ.com. It's open for you now. It's SportsAnimalABQ.com. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. All right. So you know Caleb Williams will not play tomorrow in the Hall of Fame game. You get NFL tomorrow night. You get the Texans and the Bears. Who's the Texans quarterback, by the way, tomorrow? Do you know? Does it matter? I know it's not C.J. Stroud. I don't.
Is he your boy?
Which boy is that? Is it
Davis
Mills from UC Davis? Isn't that where he's from?
Isn't it Stanford?
Yeah, it's Stanford. It's kind of near Davis. Yeah, Northern California. When will you see Aaron Rodgers? Like in a game, not in an interview, because that'll be today, any second now. But when will his first post-surgery game be? Will you see him in a tune-up? JJ, what would you do? He's 40. Well, okay, I know the answer is you'll do whatever he wants you to have him do, right? That's the answer. But would you rather see Aaron Rodgers get out there, and I don't care who you are, man, you're coming off a major injury like that. It's going to take you a second with live action to trust whether it's your knee, your shoulder, in this case, your Achilles. So do you want to see him get out there and take some live reps? And maybe you're satisfied seeing that in one of these controlled scrimmages in camp. Or do you want to see him in an exhibition game? How, like if you're the head coach, how do you feel? And I know the answer is whatever Aaron tells you.
That's the answer.
I understand.
That really is.
But how do you feel?
Where Aaron Rodgers is in his career.
Yeah.
Even coming off the Achilles, like where I know you're probably anxious and you want to see it. You say, Aaron, do you want to play any snaps in the preseason? No? Okay, well then we're going to go put our plan together.
He's probably unlikely to play in the preseason. That's what Robert Saleh said. The head coach said they haven't decided. And this is where we haven't discussed it internally. Really? Stop it. First of all, if you haven't discussed it internally, what the hell are you doing? You
just be like, we've talked about it, but we're not going to tell you our plans. Right?
Fine. Then say that to me.
Right.
Don't look at me and lie to me. Do you honestly believe we have not discussed when we're going to put Aaron out there?
No.
Okay, Robert Saleh said it has not been discussed internally, but his instinct is telling him to keep Rodgers on the sideline for all 3 preseason games. But he said, quote, I want to leave it open. That third game against the Giants, August 24th, is the one we're deciding. He definitely won't play the first 2. Okay, end quote. That's the one we're deciding, but we've not discussed it internally. Stop lying to me, man.
Word salad.
What are you deciding on if you haven't had a discussion about it? That's like, I'm not mad at you if you haven't made a decision. And I get it. You hate dealing with the media. Fine. But then you say, well, why? I don't know, man. Is it that hard? Why would it be bad to say, yeah, we're discussing it internally. We haven't decided yet. I mean, why would we, what? We haven't discussed it internally, but that's what we're deciding about. What the hell are you deciding on if you haven't talked about it? You want to talk to Heather Dyke when we come back?
We could ask her about talking to the media, too.
Actually, that's a great call. Are we media?
Yes.
You are. It's the opening drive. Heather Dyke's next, the Global Women's Soccer coach on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange, the latest technology.
All right, I'm going to do this again. It's soccer time. Lobo Women's Soccer opens up. They got a friendly coming up on Friday out of the UNM Soccer Complex. They will play the United States Deaf National Team, the team that is training here in Albuquerque and is going to go on and play in the Deaf Olympics next year. United play tonight at home out at the ball pitch against Las Vegas. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. Their season will open up with their next exhibition will be an exhibition against Abilene Christian on August 11th. We're just 12 days away from that. Then they'll go down to Las Cruces and play the Aggies and UC Riverside at home, Oregon at home, San Diego at home. It's an impressive schedule. But it is time. I mean, aside from, it's going to be 98 degrees, it's starting to, we're getting into it. School's going to start soon. And Friday out at the UNM Soccer Complex, it'll be Lobo Women's Soccer against the United States Deaf National Team. And the head coach of Lobo Women's Soccer is Heather Dyke. She joins us this morning on the Sports Animal. Hello, Heather. How you living?
Doing well. Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me on, JJ Jeff. Good to hear from you.
Appreciate you. We were just wondering, are you just sick of talking to the media all of a sudden? You just didn't want to talk to us anymore.
That was it. Yeah, I was protesting at 8:30.
On July 31st. Like, I'm done with you guys already.
I'm done. Yeah, I'm sick of it.
Yeah. How much? I guess it's different when you're at the NFL level. We were just talking. And I want to get into your team, but we were just talking about Robert Saleh, the head coach of the Jets, talking about how we haven't talked about Aaron Rodgers. We literally haven't talked about it internally, but we're deciding on whether or not he'll play in an exhibition game. Well, you're deciding. You haven't talked. Like, I don't know. How do you approach it? You've done this for a long time, and I get the difference between being the head coach of the New York Jets and what you do is different. But how do you approach it? Is it just let me be as honest as I can, or is it a burden talking to the media?
I think candidly, I'm happy I don't coach Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I'll bet that's right.
When you have someone that's that polarizing sometimes in the media, regardless of his talent level, I think, man, it just puts you in such a difficult position as a coach because it's just a little bit out of your hands. So my guess is it's going to be up to Aaron whether he wants to play or not.
That's what we seems
to go that way around there.
That's going to be the answer. Whatever Aaron tells you you're going to do, you're going to do. Hey,
it kind of feels that way.
Yeah, it's exciting. You got this is really fun on Friday, and we talked to Amy Griffin, their head coach, yesterday. The U.S. Deaf National Team is in town. They are having their summer camp at your facility. And she talked about how great your facility is, and obviously she's so familiar with this program. But you got a great opportunity to get out there on Friday, maybe get a first look at your club and go up against the national team.
It's such a unique year. I mean, we've never had anything as cool as this come to Albuquerque, in terms of our program. But when they're the Deaf World Champions, they're the current Deaf Olympic gold medalists. And they are full U.S. soccer. And I think when that comes to Albuquerque, it's very different. So I'm hopeful that people get to come see this team and support this team and hopefully come to the clinic and get to know these players. And, I mean, you want everybody to have equal opportunity, and they're here. So we're just excited they're here. And in terms of our preseason, it's really unusual because the first time I can see my team touch a soccer ball is the day of our game.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that's the way the NCAA works. So it's going to be, for us, like kind of just an exciting, throw our team on the field, see what we have, and we'll go from there. But it's definitely, I think my team's probably more excited to start with a game than they are to worry about fitness tests.
Yeah, I promise. That's right. What's their level? Are they equivalent to what as far as their skill level?
Yeah, I mean, very good. The thing about this team that's here now, and Amy may have mentioned this yesterday, but this is kind of her newer, younger batch. That I mean, there's some cool stories. Like one of the players that is currently here at camp, they found at one of their clinics. This is the same clinic that they're running for in Albuquerque on Saturday. They did that in California and found a deaf player who's now part of their full national team. So it's some young players for them that aren't necessarily capped yet. They haven't played for the team. And some of their better players are not here. So I think Amy doesn't know what the level is. I certainly don't. Candidly, I just don't really care. I just think it's such a cool opportunity.
And Heather, you've had the fantastic opportunity of coaching at so many different levels with the U.S. national team. What's it like, to be a part of that and that process, in representing your country?
Yeah, I think every athlete's goal is to perform at the absolute highest level, and that's what U.S. soccer is. I mean, when you wear that badge, you're representing your country, and certainly it's more of a limited pool when you talk about deaf athletes, or there's a cerebral palsy national team, there's a power national team, and all these extended national teams. But it's the best of the best at your level, and I think that you don't get to see that often. I mean, especially in New Mexico, because we don't have NBA or MLS or any of these things. So it's fun when you have the best of the best come to our state and get to come play here.
Talking with Heather Dyke, global women's soccer coach, and you look at the investments in U.S. soccer. They've been in the news a lot recently over the last few years. But the other programs, you mentioned, what does it mean that they are starting to invest in things like this and bring up these opportunities?
I mean, U.S. soccer, they get the brunt of a lot of conversation. I'll put it that way. But I do think if you look at what U.S. soccer has done in terms of kind of setting a standard for supporting probably the less prominent teams over the course of history, without question, they've done that. And you think about, like, you're talking Amy Griffin, who played in the 91 World Cup. Her assistant coach is Joy Fawcett, who's a multi-time World Cup winner, who's also in town with the deaf team. And it's those players paved the pathway, certainly for opportunity for women in the United States. And then because of that, other federations had to follow. And I think that's also now happening with the extended national teams. And U.S. soccer is paving the way. They are fully funding these programs, and they are supporting them. And I mean, to me, it's just about time. Like, I think any athlete deserves that opportunity. So I admire U.S. soccer for putting their money where their mouth is with these programs.
Amy said something yesterday about facilities. And she said one of the reasons she's here with her team, her national team, is because of your facilities. And, whenever we're talking about facilities at UNM, we always hear bad stuff. We always hear, well, the football stadium needs this, or they need this, or they need more of this, or it was kind of nice. It was refreshing to hear something. Wow, you got a national team here because your facilities are good. And I know you always want more, Heather, but obviously that's got to be a big reason why you've had some of the success you've had.
Our facilities are second to none, and I agree with you. I mean, I think as coaches and as people, you always think, we want more and we want this and we want that, but it's never, ever lost on our soccer program the things that we do have. I mean, our grass is absolutely phenomenal. It's like playing on a putting green, and that's a huge testament to all the people that put time and energy into that. But, yeah, I mean, I would put University of New Mexico soccer facilities up with any place that we played in the country. I mean, it's a pretty special place.
Well, it's one of those things. I mean, stop complaining about what you don't have and appreciate what you do. And
absolutely.
And it's literally, we hear about the pit, which people love the pit, but there's some antiquated pieces of that. It was just good to hear something positive. Hey, I think you got 34 young ladies on this roster. How good's your team? Do you know what you've got yet? Like you said, you're not going to get to really see them until you play on Friday, but there's always a lot of new. How good's your soccer team?
I love this time of year. It's my favorite. Like, it just is. It's why you do this. You get to work all year, and then the players are back now, and we get to see them compete and fight for a spot and find ways to win. But I definitely think we have a talent level that is high. I think we had that last year, but we need a couple of our younger players to kind of take it on their shoulders a little bit, and I think they will. I'm very, very excited about this year and the players that we have coming in to enhance what we already had last year.
Yeah, and one of the things that has been a prominent part of your program is you have a good non-conference schedule. There's always a marquee game. Getting Oregon to come to Albuquerque August 25th, how big is that for everyone?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, that's what we've tried to do since we've been here, is bring things to New Mexico, show off our state, show off our city, show off our university. We've had Washington come. We have Oregon coming. We have a youth national team here. And I'm proud to be New Mexican, and I'm proud when people get to come play here. And I'm afraid of the big dogs. Like, I want them in our hometown, and I want to play them, and I want them to feel what it's like to play at this altitude and try and beat us, which is not going to be an easy thing to do.
Heather Dyke is with us, Lobo women's soccer coach. Heather, how much does all the noise around college athletics affect your program and affect your day-to-day, whether it's realignment, whether it's NIL, whether it's transfer portal, whether all the noise that's around college athletics on a daily basis and evolves regularly?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that you can get completely engulfed in it right now. Like, it is a little bit terrifying. It's so terrifying, some of the things that are happening. For what that means for non-Power 5 schools and what that means for kind of non-revenue producing sports. And I think that's going to be, unfortunately, potentially a negative impact of all these cases. Like, they all are benefiting the big, powerful, high-money schools. We're lucky that we have someone like Eddie Nunez who is on top of all these things and will do everything he can to keep New Mexico in a prominent position. But it's going to change, and it's going to change dramatically. And so to me, it's a little bit like what you said earlier, Jeff, is stay focused and appreciative of what I have right now, and whatever comes, we'll roll with it.
Yeah. Do you look at it as like let's just look at transfer portal stuff. I mean, how much are you affected by that? I know you've talked about NIL in the past, and you've talked about even in your conference how you've lost recruits simply because somebody else in your league was able to offer them more money. But how much is the stuff that you see talked about so much in football and men's and women's basketball, transfers, NIL, how much does that hit your roster? Because I don't think people realize how much. Yeah, I mean, we've been a little fortunate in terms of transfer portal, just that, and I'm obviously biased, but we have a really special program, and I think we've had less than 5 kids transfer in 5 years. Which to me is a huge sign that they're getting a holistic experience at the University of New Mexico, not just soccer, that they're enjoying all of it. But it's real, and it's changed the landscape of it, and it without question has changed kind of the direction of what each team is. Like, you really have a team for 1 year. And at the end of that, at New Mexico, more than likely your really high-level players are going to leave, and that's just the way it is. And I don't necessarily love that. I do think that there's a huge growth curve in going through difficult things and learning that you have the capacity to do it, instead of just kind of these things come towards you and you transfer because you aren't getting the playing time you want. Or I think that's part of the college process. So it's not my job to complain about what it is. It's my job to make sure that we're doing the best with what we have, and that's just what the NCAA is giving us right now.
Yeah, and with that is even mentioning the word redshirt to someone like taboo?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to do what we think is best for each individual player. So if you're not going to get meaningful minutes, I'm not going to burn a red shirt. And in women's soccer, if you play 1 minute of one game, you lose the entire season. So we don't get the luxury of playing them, I think, football 7 games, and they can still redshirt.
I think it's 4. I think it's 4 in football, and then basketball, I think you burn it. Though, they need to really get consistent with that, and throughout whoever's
1 minute of one
whoever's
game,
they.
I have no idea. So we get 14 days to get them ready, and then I'm supposed to know in that time if they're good enough to play for the season. And to me, it's unfair to the student athlete more than anything
100%.
else, because if you're a freshman, you just moved here, it feels like a hurricane. You live in a dorm. You're probably not playing your best soccer in 14 days.
Promise.
So, yeah.
What was it, JJ? What was it? Was it Bryson Carroll that had to go in one?
Burned a year because he took 2 snaps.
Right, because Bob Davey needed a quarterback right before halftime, and he took 2 snaps. Yeah. And then the quarterback came back and he lost his year. And you say that they got to figure it out. I don't even know, Heather, who the hell is they anymore when it comes to NCAA rules?
I don't know. It's I mean, some of the things that you can do now that are permissible are just mind-boggling, and then you're still getting letters about, you can't send camp information on sheets of paper that are bigger than 8.5 by 11. And you're like, well,
at least they're taking care of what's important.
Who has that job? I got to measure
I don't know.
the paper.
I mean, I just think the focus has to remain on doing what's best for student athletes. And some of this, that's silly to me. Take 2 snaps and you lose an entire year. That makes no sense.
It's bonkers. Like you send somebody out just, once and that's it.
Like, I'm sorry, this is a 12-inch paper, so.
Yeah, there's a violation and you're going to lose 2 scholarships. Yeah, that's it. You're the best. Always appreciate the conversation. Go out and see the Lobel women's soccer team. They're playing the U.S. Deaf national team. This is going to be really, really cool. It's Friday. What time you get started out at the soccer complex?
Game starts at 7 o'clock. The admission is free. And I know that you guys have mentioned it, but there's also a clinic run by the U.S. Deaf national team on Saturday on Robertson. So it's a great opportunity to come meet these players and kind of get to know them before they head off to the Deaf World Cup in a few months.
How can people sign up for that? Do you know? I'm looking at your website. I'm not sure I see it there.
I think that there's a link on the Deaf Women's National Team poster, but I'm going to put it on our website today too, just to make sure that everybody can have access to it. But I also know that you can just walk up, show up, and come participate as well.
All right. Always appreciate the conversation. Have fun on Friday. Best of luck. We'll talk to you before the season starts.
Thank you guys. Thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Be well. She's Heather Dyke. She is. She's the best, dude. Like such a big fan of her. She's my favorite. I've said this so many times. She's my favorite thing about soccer.
Well, she's great at what she does.
Yeah.
The resume is unbelievable. And she does keep it honest when she has conversations about her game, where it's at.
She's got the best perspective on soccer, period, of anybody I know. Like, honestly, she loves it. She's passionate about it. She but she gets it, and she gets the fact that people are still figuring it out, learning it, wanting to love it, and she doesn't come across. And I'm not looking to ruffle any feathers with this, but she doesn't come across with this arrogance that if you don't know our game, it's the greatest game in the world, you should know. She's like, there's this sensibility about her. There's this calmness and there's this acceptance about her that I just find so insanely refreshing about soccer. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because there tends to be an arrogance with soccer. Well, if you don't know our game, you just, whatever. Just learn it. And there's a lot of people who just don't. And she is, I'm such a fan. I root for her. I don't root for a lot, but I root for her and that program. And you're going to have the call, and that'll be on the Mount West Network and wherever you can watch it. So if you can't get out there, it's free, by the way. She said. Free is cheap, right?
Yes.
All right. 505-246-0610. You can get into whatever, what she had to say. And get out there and just enjoy that. It's the open. Oh, look at all this stuff coming in on Heather all of a sudden. It's good. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Show this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Murcia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
So, all right, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. Looking at the Olympic schedule today. 1 o'clock, U.S. men's basketball against South Sudan. Yes, that's South Sudan. Same team that almost beat them in a friendly about a week and a half ago. That was without Kevin Durant. That was a 41.5 point spread. I don't know what the spread is. I'll find it for you. But if I said 14.5 today, which way would you go?
I will take the U.S.
Me too. Me too. They're not going to take them lightly at all. I'll find you odds on it, though. Damn, this is the worst keyboard ever. Like, literally. What do you think the odds are?
The United States favored by 27.5 points.
I think it's 27.5. I can't find them, but I will. I think there's going to be odds on this somewhere, doesn't there? Here we go. 6 hours ago, odds. I don't know. Was it 21? No, that's not it. I don't know, man. Can you find them? Because I don't know where the hell they are. Like, literally can't find them. I got all kinds of prop bets on it. Kevin Durant, 15 points. Anthony Davis, 10 rebounds. LeBron James, 15 points. 28 points. I found it. 28. 28. Dude, that's too many. You don't think that's too many?
No, obviously not. I was at 27.5.
Yeah. Which way would you go on it? You take
Team
USA. You take USA to win by 27.5. All right. I'm going to go the other way. I think they win, and I don't think it's horribly close, but I think that's too many points. I think that was a pretty good team I watched, and I get it. Kevin Durant's going to be back, and they hit a lot of threes, and it might be different, but that's a lot of damn points. All right, Dodger fan. So the trade deadline was yesterday. You get yourself a starting pitcher. How did you feel watching that game last night? So Dodgers score 5 runs in the top of the first inning in San Diego. They're going to run the Padres out of their own build. Then they don't get another run the rest of the way. And the Padres come up in the bottom of the 9th. Manny Machado hits a home run to lead it off, first pitch. And it was the Padre broadcast, dude. So it was and he's typical. Here's the voice of the Padres, whatever his name is. Thank you very much, and here we are on a beautiful evening in San Diego. Right, that guy, and he's good. He's really, really good. He's just Mr. Announcer guy. And Machado hits one, and then Jackson Merrill hits another one, and the Dodger bullpen is imploding. And they go to the 10th. Dodgers don't score anything, and the Padres walk it off. And the place goes freaking nuts. It was a pinch hitter. Donovan Solano with a bases loaded shot down the third baseline. Should Dodger fan be worried with
But I have to answer another question about should Dodger fans
No,
be worried?
hear me. With the uncertainty of Freddie Freeman, Betts' injury, the bullpen is shaky. Now, granted, they added some arms, and it's only 5.5. I think the answer is yes, and the Padres are coming. I think the answer is yes.
Okay.
I mean, the Padres are like...
You believe in the Padres? How many times have we been here done that with the Padres?
So I believe in the Padres way more than the Clippers or the Chargers. and yeah, they spend enough money and they're maturing and they're getting there, and they've already beat the Dodgers in a playoff series. Yeah, I kind of do believe in the Padres a little bit. I think when it's all said and done, the Dodgers are better, but I've watched the postseason. Now, the Phillies might be the better of all of them. But yeah, I kind of do believe in the Padres a little bit.
To win the division, or are we talking to knock someone off? Because, we get to the postseason.
I don't know, man. 5.5's not a lot. 5.5's not a lot. And they're playing way better, and they're healthier. Way healthier. I don't know what Clayton Kershaw is. Mookie Betts is out with a broken wrist. Freddie Freeman's home with his family. I think there's a little concern. I watched my phone today, and Dodger fan in San Diego, and I got a bunch of buddies down there who were losing their minds after what happened last night.
Okay. Like, it's such a long season.
I know.
Like, to
but
lose
it's
your
going to
mind
be
at
August
any
1st.
point as a baseball fan.
You got 2 months left. Oh, 2 months left. All right. Biggest impact trade. Was there one? It doesn't really feel like there was a huge impact trade at the deadline. Does there feel like one to you?
It's going to be the bullpen arms that make the biggest difference of all these trades. It's not going to be the bat you acquired. There wasn't, Jazz Chisholm right now, really good 3 days, but ultimately, when it comes to the postseason, the biggest impact is going to be by all the relievers that were traded and landed, whether it's the Padres and their bullpen. I do like what they've done. And their bullpen, really good. The O's adding 2 arms from the Phillies, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
As good as the Phillies are, they're actually trading away some of their bullpen pieces.
All right. When we come back, we're going to camp. Or are we? Cowboy fan, is this indicative of where you are, or is it just the California Cowboy fan? Are you getting frustrated with your club? And are they still America's team? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Adventure is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oakey, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sister.
Cowboy fan, to me, and again, there's so many of you out there, but JJ, we got them all around here. You know them. If you live here, you know them. Cowboy fan, except for Omar, is always, because Omar texts and he's going to tell us that they're the greatest and the expectations are Super Bowl, and that's great what your expectations are. But I think with everybody doing something, I mean, go through it, man. Every franchise, every team did something. What did your team do? What was the Cowboys' big off-season move? What did they do? And they still haven't signed their quarterback or their receiver or their edge rusher. And everybody else is. And you realize it's going to get more expensive. You're like, what do I care, Jeff? It's not my money. Yeah, but it's less money that can be spread around to get other players. I don't feel that Cowboy fan is out. They're always going to be Cowboy fan. I just feel they're down, and they're almost to the point where they're accepting or expecting a down season.
Yeah, this is the no spin zone. Usually there's something to point to. Even going back a few years, the draft, how well the Cowboys have done. Maybe not the biggest offseason signing, but bringing in someone.
Something.
Stephon Gilmore last year. This year, it's the ultimate believe in us because we know what we're doing.
Right.
And then you can, well, the belief has led to no extended playoff runs, no NFC Championship appearances, nowhere near a Super Bowl appearance in that case. And for the Cowboys, I understand the Dak thing if you don't want to make him like the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Like if you just don't feel that, okay. But even if you move on from Dak Prescott, like CeeDee Lamb and Michael Parsons are pieces that even if they're making elite money are going to make a difference for whoever's next. And how are those contracts not done? Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I think all that's right. And that's where Cowboy fan is. And so I don't know that directly correlates why there's less people in Oxnard, but it kind of feels like it does, doesn't it?
Because that's an investment.
Sure it is.
Whether you're local or you make a trip out of it.
Yeah, I wonder how many people really make a trip. Right? Most of those are probably California people, right? They go out there. Have you ever gone out to training camp?
I did as a kid.
Did you?
Yeah, it's actually a really cool experience. And I think for a lot of people, it's honestly the closest they're going to get to their team all year.
It's nothing I've ever considered. So walk me through it. It's like the mindset. Okay,
when you're a kid, you just think it's the coolest thing.
So you just take your kid out there. That's kind of what it is.
And I'm sure there's a lot of fans that are into it.
Yeah.
Like it's evident when you look at these clips of practice, and they're filling whatever stands they have around these camps. And I think it's an affordable way for people to get close to their football team.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, I've just
and
never
when you're a
considered
kid there, you're trying to get autographs, and you can get closer than you ever can when you go to a stadium.
Okay, I'm in.
Like it's a very fun experience for a young football fan.
Yeah, I'm sold. I just, I mean, I've covered them. I've been to Cowboy camp. I've just never considered. I've been to Seahawks camp. I've never considered it. Stephen Jones, the Cowboys executive vice president, son of Jerry, was on a San Antonio radio station. This was yesterday on the deals. He said the team is waiting to hear back from Dak Prescott in his camp, the quarterback's camp. Quote on the contract, "The ball is in their court. We continue to grind away on it. I would characterize both negotiations as very cordial and upbeat. We're optimistic. We'll continue to work towards getting something done." I would assume the other one was CeeDee Lamb. Okay. I got to feel Dak's camp is in a place where they got a number, right? And they're probably not going to budge off their number. I'm going to guess that number is whatever the top of the market is right now. They saw Jordan Love post a number the other day. And they probably feel that they should be above Jordan Love. And what Jerry said is, we saw him and Jordan Love play in the same game on the same field at our place, and Jordan Love kicked his ass. He didn't say it that way, but that's basically what he said, right?
Yeah.
And so I can't see the Cowboys being willing to give him Jordan Love money, and his camp is going, we've done this better and longer than Jordan Love has. Yeah, we lost one game, but whatever. So are we going to really stand off over a few $1 million? And I know, like we're saying this like it's nothing, but I mean, over the course of a $220 million deal, are we standing off over $4, $5, $6, $10 million? We might be, right? We really might be.
Yeah.
How much of this do you think is ego? That he has got to be paid at that level. And Jerry's like, nope, we're paying him at this level. Because I think there's a ton of it.
And that would be a little bit of a departure from what we've seen out of Dak Prescott.
Okay.
And if I'm Dak, I'd be. I can't see this. You know, who knows? If someone was offering me that much money and I could ask for more, I'd absolutely do it. But
sure.
I guess the conversation too with all these quarterback contracts is you have to be willing to sit down as a front office and be honest. Go, all right, we know you're going to make 17 to 20% of our salary cap. We understand that. But if we structure things this way, this is what we can do. And if you show that, all right, you're going to get paid, but we're not going to give you the $200 million guaranteed, but we're going to be active in free agency. We're going to do this. Like, if you show that, then maybe that's a way you can not always have to have the next contract being the biggest, but the Cowboys are in a situation out there where they're not showing that either in free agency or to even the other players in the roster. Because I think if you were really haggling over $6 to $10 million or whatever figures there and say, all right, Dak,
long term,
if we come in at this number, that means we'll go to CeeDee Lamb and get that contract done. But we need to be here.
Because we need the rest
like
to
that's
give him.
Like,
yeah,
business. Let's go. Like, work on it. I don't even know if Jerry Jones knows what he wants to do right now.
I agree with that. Because then I look at the 49ers situation. You got a quarterback like Brock Purdy who's going to get paid, right? He's making under $1 million. He's on his rookie contract. He was the last pick in the draft. Like, and he's watching everybody else on his team get paid. And he told NFL media, he says, that's great. I'm happy for those guys. But for me and this team right now, we got to focus on 2024. This season's so long and there's so much stuff that you got to go through. So to get cut off and what the years can look like down the road or anything like that, to me, that's pretty nonsense, end quote. Like, here's a guy who's led the 49ers to 2 NFC championship games in 2 seasons. San Francisco reached the Super Bowl last year. Quote, every Sunday you're going to get everybody's best shot. Nothing's ever given to us. It doesn't matter what you did last year or the years before. Every Sunday we have to go into it like we have to go into it and take it. And so for me and myself, I never want to be complacent with we had this kind of season last year or the year before. Dude, I love me some Brock Purdy. I mean, you know how I feel about the Niners. Growing up a Rams fan, I mean, it kills me to say I really like a Niner. But he feels like everything you want. Humble, he's going to get his. He deserves to get his. He should get his. It's a business. He's performed at the top of his business. At some point, pay that guy, and that point's going to be after this season. But I don't know if you come, like, if you grow up hungry and then you make money, you appreciate it a lot more, I think, than if you grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth, right? I think. And that's a generalization. It's not fair. And there's plenty of people who remain hungry and right, grew up in good means. But if you're the last pick in the draft and you had to work for everything, as opposed to being, and Dak Prescott was the 3rd round guy. I know he wasn't the first pick, but you're a number 1 pick. You get chance after chance after chance after chance after chance, as opposed to a guy like this who had to scrap and scrape for everything. I think you start to appreciate everything a little bit more, right? It's like, you grow up poor and you appreciate everything you got and you don't ever take a dollar for granted. Does that make sense? And that's who Brock Purdy sounds like to me.
Yeah, and some of it is there's the fact that Purdy wasn't able to negotiate a contract extension yet.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's not allowed to.
It's easy for him to act this way.
Well, I mean, there's no other way to really act. I guess he could say, yeah, I'd like to get more. And, he could be. He just doesn't feel like he is that guy. All right, 505-246-0610. We'll take the final break here and wrap it up. I got the Olympic schedule for you today, and when we come back, I got a Lobo for you to root for, and when and for whom that person will compete. Maybe not the Lobo you're thinking about. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug.
So TV ratings for the first game of the NFL's most outstanding organization will be off the charts, Jeff. Omar's not worried. Cowboys open up. I think it's Tom Brady's first game will be in Cleveland. Yeah. If you want to win the ratings game, you might be right. Congratulations. You get the Pete Rozelle. Who's the Lombardi Trophy? You get the Lombardi Trophy for ratings? No, you don't. But yeah, if you want to watch, who watches them, all right. But I think you're worried, Omar. You feel good about this season? Do you really? Cowboy fan? 505-246-0610 opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck, what are people going to be talking about as you go through your day? Simone Biles and the U.S. women gold medals yesterday.
Did you see the ending to the rugby sevens?
No, talk to me about that. I saw you wrote
you
this
have
on.
to look this up right now.
I just heard Boomer Esiason talk about it. So, like, with 12 seconds to go, they were down. Dude went length of the field.
Dudette went length of the field.
I mean, dudette. I mean, like chicks say dude all the time.
Dude, brah.
Dude, my chick says, or my daughter says dude all the time.
I know.
Yeah, go ahead. No, tell me.
The best finish of the Olympics.
Alex
Simone
Cedric.
Biles last night, coming in goat finish, locking it down. That was good. This was crazy.
Alex Cedric scored on a walk-off run and a conversion. Time expired. And the U.S. won. First ever medal in women's rugby sevens.
Now, you need to see the video of this.
Okay. All right. I will.
So they're down, push back towards their own end. Clock's ticking down.
Tick.
And they're tossing it, and then she just turns into Derrick Henry. She catches it, runs straight through the Australian defender.
Think about it. Right down the gut.
Like, Australia's getting ready to celebrate. U.S. just like, oh, man. Bang, turns into Derrick Henry.
Yeah, it did. Now that
was crazy.
I did see that last night. Yeah. All right, people will be talking about that. They'll be talking about United going tonight out at the ball pitch. They play Las Vegas. Dodgers lose to the Padres. We're up 5-0, lost 6-5 in a walk-off in the 10th inning. And you get Team USA today, 1 o'clock, men's basketball against South Sudan. Got a Lobo for you to root for. So Olympic tee times for men's golf are out. They're going tomorrow. And these aren't your Lobos, but how about this pairing? Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Ludwig Eberg. They'll all tee off in the same group. You got another group, Wyndham Clark, Hideki Matsuyama, and Tommy Fleetwood. You got another one. This one's really good. Xander Schauffele, Victor Hovland, John Rahm. And former Lobo competing for France, Victor Perez, will go off at 1 o'clock in the morning our time. He now represents the French. Quote from the former Lobo on playing for the host country. I wouldn't say added pressure. I can speak on this one because I think we are very similar. I don't think anybody in this room is going to be able to put more pressure on ourselves than we are already putting on ourselves. Obviously, there's high expectations being in Paris and the course we've played so many times in the French Open. But at the same time, I try to see it as, would you rather play at home or away? You'd rather play at home, and would you rather have the crowd with you or against you? You'd rather have it with you, obviously, end quote. Huh? So it's Perez and Matthew Pavon who will tee it up with Colin Morikawa and Matt Fitzpatrick later in the day. So you got a Lobo to root for. He's wearing red, white, and blue of France. But he's going off in the very first group, him, Matthias Schmid, and C.D. Pan. Early morning golf, if you want to get your... I don't know where somebody will have it, Peacock or USA or CNBC or one of the NBC networks will have all that. But you got a lot of big names. Jason Day's in this. The U.S. is Scotty Scheffler and Xander Schauffele and Wyndham Clark. And wasn't there a fourth, JJ? Like, everybody gets two, but somehow we got four. Which I don't even really understand. Is this for golfer of the year? Does this matter? We talked about player of the year the other day when Xander won his second major, when he won the Open. So he won the PGA and the Open. Scotty won the Masters, and he won the Players, and he won like 6 tournaments. Does this go into, it's got to be in the consideration, right? When you're voting, like as a human being and you vote for player of the year, if one of these guys also wins the gold medal, that probably puts him over the top, doesn't it?
No. There's only 4 of them.
4 of what?
Well, I mean, like, because the teams that they're competing against smaller, and I don't think I would look and be like, oh, Xander's the player of the year now because he got the gold medal. I think Scheffler just has a hold on the overall season lead of that.
So you think so you got Scheffler over Xander right now?
I do.
Xander won 2 majors, Scheffler won 1. The Players is like the 5th major, and Scheffler's won more money and he's won more tournaments. But dude, I wonder if there's ever been a player that's won 2 majors that didn't win Player of the Year. I don't know the answer.
This one, it's not something that I would battle against. Like if you're like, well, Xander,
there's
2
2
majors,
right answers.
shot a 65 in the final round of each. He's a Player of the Year. I'm like, yes,
yeah.
Scotty Scheffler, unbelievable streak of consistency with a major in there.
Got arrested.
Yes.
And he got arrested.
Got some street cred.
Dude got a mug shot. So he wins a major, the Players, 6 tournaments, and gets a mug shot. I mean, Tiger never did that. Well, probably not true. Now that I think about it, it's probably not true. Remember when Tiger got the DUI, that bloodshot eye mug shot? Yeah, there's a Tiger, but I wonder how many he won that year. I might stand corrected. Maybe he did. But you get all that. You get that coming up tomorrow. United tonight, and then you get U.S. women's deaf national team against the Lobo women on Friday in the soccer. Jim Rome Show is next. They're heard with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men Ons here at 4, and it's Isotopes and Las Vegas. Our special thank you to Heather Dyke, the Lobo women's soccer coach. She was with us today. Adrian, great job on the visuals. Looks terrific. Big week for Pro V, man. They're up there doing all those Connie Mack World Series games and doing our stuff. JJ, take a couple days off. Why don't you?
We'll convene sometime next week.
All right. Have a great, safe weekend to you. Be good to each other, boys and girls. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will see you later.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of Pro V Sports.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and